Hey guys, we are throwing it all the way back to season 11, episode 13, when Kathy Griffin appeared on SVU. We're talking PC. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the SVU After Show here on AfterBuzz. If you have not already, go to AfterBuzz TV. Go to youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes, SoundCloud. Dancing around my table today, Jessie Janity. What's up? Also, Michelle Cullen is here.
Hello.
And Lucretia.
Yo.
Okay, Lucretia.
I'm Yael Teagle. Welcome to the SVU After Show. As I said, we're talking season 11, episode 13, PC. Overall thoughts on the episode will be in a minute. Before we do that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and give them a hotline. Anybody? Nope, I got it. It's 656-HOPE, 1-800-656-HOPE, or 565. I think it's 656. Yep, 1-800-656-HOPE. That's a hotline for anyone who may need it. That's the Rape, Incest, RAIN, Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network. I'm really good at this without Lauren here. Yeah. So that's a hotline for anyone who may need it. But before we jump in, we want to remind everyone that sometimes episodes take very serious issues. And when it gets dark, the only thing to do is laugh about it, because otherwise the world is a sad, sad, disgusting place.
And we're going there today.
Oh, we are going.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we got a lot of thoughts. So overall thoughts of PC. Lucretia, overall thought?
Well, the title is very ironic since it's so not PC, and Elliot reminds us several times in the episode.
Michelle?
It's a very interesting episode. It's always interesting with Kathy Griffin.
Yeah. Jessie?
I thought Kathy Griffin was the worst person they could have put on this episode. First of all, if you're going to try and make something serious, you don't put Kathy Griffin in that
Accurate.
position.
Yeah.
And then if the title is called PC and Kathy Griffin, every single sentence she makes is a pun, I can't.
She doesn't do it. Okay, so here's where I got angry. It's Stabler. It's him. That's a PC. Blah, blah, blah. That's a PC. Shut your freaking mouth. We know the title. Shut your mouth.
I don't know, girl.
We are aware.
I don't even take notes for this show, and I had to. I had to watch the episode twice because I was like, did this bitch say what? I was like, I'm gay. Thank God I ain't a lesbian, though.
Oh, my God.
But I will say this about it. The only thing that I could say that the show actually did do that I can say they really stuck to versus other shows when they talk about LGBT things is really focusing on the word lesbian versus gay, because everyone kind of just throws the word gay for everybody. Whatever you are or whatever you do, if it's in that LGBT world, you're gay. And so to really put that kind of out there and like, no, this is a real word. We are people. We are not that. That was cool. And then it was kind of like the episode just went downhill from there.
So before we jump into the plot of the episode, because you know that we love talking plot here, I want to bring up some things about the season. I had some notes and I lost them, and that's gonna kill me. Yep. Okay. So season 11. All I know, here's what I remember. The cast of the show. So Mariska and Maloney had just renewed their contracts before this season happened, and they were like fighting for more money, which they obviously got because we got season 11. So that was a really huge thing that had happened to influence the way the show was going, is that they just re-upped their contracts. And in episode 5 of this season was the first time that Dr. Wong revealed that he was gay.
Oh, yeah.
And there was an interview with one of the showrunners who had said that, like, he wasn't sure if the writers always thought he was gay or if he was always played gay, but, like, it was never a question or an issue. And I remember the episode, and I remember the line that he says, because I remember going, because he essentially came out, and it was beautifully just ignored.
Yeah.
Was he had said, it was when we have a child molester or a pedophile who points out that he believes that pedophilia is equal to being gay, that it's how you're born, it's something you can't deal with, you can't do anything about, it's just how you are. And Dr. Wong says, as a gay man, this offends me. And that was the moment, and they just let it go because it was irrelevant.
It was so good. I do remember that.
And so this was that season. So we had just learned that. Now we're in episode 13, all about the lesbians.
Way to have a great episode about being gay and then toss this one up.
So the things that are great. So for those who may have seen Kathy Griffin, My Life on the D-List, you may have seen what was happening behind the scenes of this, where she came in and was like trying to practice her lines and wanted to run through scenes with them, and they were not having it, which I believe was pretty staged, right? It was her trying to be her and them not being fun, which feels very staged because they are fun people.
Yeah, Maloney's a hoot.
I know. So originally there's supposed to be an on-screen kiss with Benson, and that was in it was released in behind the scenes
Wait,
videos. Kathy and Benson kiss. In that part where she pulls away, there was a kiss. And so that is was shown in behind the scenes video, and it's also on Kathy Griffin's My Life on the D-List for that episode.
I'm glad they didn't put that in there.
Well, so it wasn't in Kathy's episode on My Life on the D-List. They didn't show the Stabler kiss, so that was a big surprise when it happened on the show. And you can find the behind the scenes of the kiss. I believe it's on the DVDs if you want to watch that kiss.
Nope.
Okay. All right, so let's jump into the episode.
Nothing sexy about that.
All right, let's jump into the episode. So we start with a mugger who steals a phone and runs away, and the cop runs after him, and he comes out and he says, "Don't shoot me. I took the phone, but I didn't do that."
I don't know if I was just overly high watching this episode or...
Wow.
No, I'm serious. Like, I was just watching this and I was just like, what is happening right now? Like, why is the act... Because... Okay, so I've just started watching SVU, so I binge watched all of them. So I'm like later into the newer episodes now. Then to go back, I'm like, why is the writing and the acting like this right now? Like everything is like Buffy the Vampire, so campy. But when that part happened, I was just sitting there like, where is this episode going? And now we have vampires? Like, what?
Yes. The first 13 minutes of this episode are very much one thing. And then it's like curveball.
They could have stayed with that.
They
That's
could
what
have, and it would have been fascinating.
You guys are so funny
straight.
because rewatching this, and it was on TV the other day, and I caught the tail end,
really?
right? So like rewatching the entire episode, I had completely forgotten about the vampire crap because it's so irrelevant.
But isn't it? I thought it was interesting. I was like, oh, this could be a really cool story.
I wanted to punch that guy in the face.
I know, but it was I loved it because it was just so stupid.
It's like a weird comic relief at the beginning in a way that you enjoy, because when he's brought into the room and
like,
Stabler's like, you can see your reflection, and then he's like, I see no reflection. It's like, I want to hit you, but you're making me laugh.
And I love whenever he's like, vampires have to be invited, and he just pushes him in. There's your invitation.
It started out so ridiculous, and then it got even more extreme.
Wait, but Liv, when she walked in, she said, well, at least we know who's keeping Pier 1 open. Go ahead, Liv. So clever.
I went, do I remember what Pier 1 is? That's where my brain went.
That's not where you shop for your college dorm?
No.
Girl, I know
You don't buy candles in bulk from Pier 1? I thought everyone did that.
Okay, vampires. But wait, way back the first part where the guy steals the phone, like I'm still there.
Which could have been a whole nother episode.
It could have been. But I love that he comes out and goes, don't shoot me. I took the phone, but I didn't do this. I love it when a criminal admits to another crime to get okay, I did this one thing, not this other thing. I love when they do that, when they're like, I couldn't have killed her. I was busy raping someone over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
So great. And then the cop lets him go.
Yeah, he just runs away in the same manner that he ran with the phone. Like, he's running with the phone like this.
Yes.
And then he throws it. I didn't do it.
All right, so we have our victim who all she says is Mitch, and then she dies. And we find out way later that her name is Alyssa Davies. So when the lesbians all come into the...
First of all, why, again, I don't know if this was the writers dragging us but you go from vampires to lesbians.
That's like a James Franco movie.
It also very much reminds me of the classic lesbian vampire joke. Anyway, so I'm not going to say it. It's inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, because this ain't the platform for that.
So anyway, so when they find out it's Alyssa Davies, it's because all the lesbians stormed the police station.
In silence.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. It says, do you know who I am? And then it says, please help the police and tell us.
Yeah.
Why are you angry?
I love Kelly's forever said in the chat, the Les Brigade.
The Les Brigade.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, look, lesbians, I know some really intense lesbians. They're very fun, love to party, and you know what I mean? Just great people. And yeah, sometimes there are people in life who get upset. Now, an angry mob of lesbians, like, this was just too much, y'all. Y'all just painted this picture with drunk goggles when he was writing, because every single one of them, like, there wasn't one reasonable lesbian out here that was like, you know what, like, maybe we should do this peacefully. Like, they all were just mad, like, with the most amazing one-liners, I have to say. There's a lesbian rape epidemic out here! This isn't the fucking Walking Dead, bro. Like, calm down. Like, a rape epidemic? Stop it. Like, my sisters, like, and I don't know if it's like the stuff I'm watching on TV in real life, and then I'm watching this episode and I'm just like, what's happening? What is this? Why is Kathy Griffin? Like, if it was anybody else, they might have been able to actually, like, really make me believe, like, this angry mob of lesbians is serious.
It's hard because it is Kathy Griffin being a character as opposed to this is a representation of a person.
Yeah.
Right? So Babs Duffy...
In the name, too. Like...
Babs Duffy.
The head of Lesbi Strong. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. This was a terrible name. It's not gay rights. It's lesbian rights. Which, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Here's the thing. Yes, there are plenty of organizations that are specified on which part of the LGBTQI alphabet. A.
Add the A at the end. Girl, let me say, I'm gay and I didn't know 4 of those letters.
Really?
I knew LGBT and I know recently they put the Q in there. Like,
Well, so her Q was a different Q.
yeah,
'cause
question.
Hers was questioning. So growing up, I was part of a group. It was an LGBTQQA group, which was queer and questioning and allies. Right? So if you're going to put questioning in there, that's 2 Qs because one is queer. Now, if you're going to throw the A in there, then it's not, then your group, so that's the other thing. Her group is just L.
Yeah.
And allies are not welcome. Questioning is not welcome.
What's
Trans,
the I? Intersex?
Intersex, yeah.
Intersex, okay.
Yeah. You want more letters? Because I've got more.
Are you serious?
Well, they know this episode tells you what year it is because you've forgotten P. You've forgotten. There are a lot more that I can't think of right now.
How can we just all be people? Like, I just can't.
Isn't there another A now too for asexual?
Yeah.
Isn't that included?
That's included. So where was I? LGBTQIQQ.
Well, they should add S up in there too for straight people. If we're just gonna add whatever your sex is.
Everyone is included in this
Like,
group
what?
now.
Asexuals? What does that have to do with me?
Anywho, so where was I? So she's this whole only lesbian doesn't care about because she only cares about her sisters. What about her brothers?
No, because what? Just because I know another lesbian, that means that all of a sudden we're banging each other and we're going down on each other like the Titanic?
Which is a disgusting lie.
That's just
Because
awful.
also,
People died.
A lot of people died.
but also, when I make a going down on someone joke, Titanic is not what I think.
That
of.
ended awfully.
Yeah, that's
so
not how you
bad.
want going down to end.
It's like people who compare dicks to straws. Some guy just did that the other. He's like, I don't drink out of straws because they remind me of sucking dick. Like, what does your dick look like that you're thinking?
concerning.
Like, why is that? You're going down on a woman. You're thinking about like Rose from the Titanic. What does
Really?
that mean?
That's a straw?
Which Rose? The old
Young
Rose?
Rose or
Yeah,
old
old
Rose? It's
Rose.
old Rose.
I don't know what you're into. I don't judge. All right.
She does that.
I don't. So anyway, all right. So we've got this whole situation. We find out that Alyssa Davies was dating Sharon Harris. They're engaged. Sharon. Okay. So I remember when this episode first came out, and I found out that Sharon is an aggressive, and I remember calling because I lived in the Bay Area, San Francisco. I was surrounded by lesbians. So I called up some friends and went, what the is an aggressive? Never heard this.
It's like gay, but a top.
Yeah, but I've never heard the term an aggressive.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, when Dr. Wong, I appreciate that he points out that the lesbian community has all of these subcultures the same way that the gay community does, the same way that the straight community does, and that Benson puts in her, it's like a straight woman who likes to dress in leather. It's called a dominatrix.
Matrix,
Like,
God.
girl, use the term if you're going to say it.
You're an SVU, for Christ's sake.
Right?
You know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Wong explains that there are all these different subcultures, I wanted to be like, name another one. Like, yes, there are. Can you name another one? Because all you seem to think of is there are aggressives and everyone
Lipstick.
else.
And when they found that picture of
Femme,
Sharon
butch.
with her fellow aggressives, it reminded me of a 90s grunge band
Yes.
that was just so angry.
So
It makes
angry.
you
It
forget.
looked like a boy band pose.
This episode was in 2010.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, like what? It's like they filmed it in '96.
They
Mitch
did.
the bitch.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
So then we find out that Mitch is a pet name that they like to use during intimate times. So when Stabler calls her Mitch, I got upset because it stands for my bitch, right? So
Yeah.
this woman who we just have decided is an aggressive, clearly doesn't like you as a man.
Yeah.
You do not call her my bitch. Like when she punched him, I went, yeah, he just said you're my bitch.
Did they know what
I
it
wasn't
meant
mad
by
at
then?
him.
Yes.
They did?
Yeah, when they found out what Mitch meant, they knew what it. Or when they found out that she was Mitch,
Yeah,
they
'cause she
also
said it was a
discovered
pet name.
it's a pet
Yeah.
name. It means my bitch.
She said she's the bitch, but she's the
Yeah, I thought they found out it meant my bitch when
No.
Benson was in the room with them. Okay,
No,
my
no,
bad.
no.
I mean, I wasn't mad at him for doing that. Honestly, I really.
If you're with someone and his pet name for you is my bitch, you don't want a strange cop calling you my bitch.
I sure don't. But I'm just like, I'm not mad at him for saying that in the context of the situation. If I think that she killed her girlfriend, sorry, girl,
Yeah,
we
if
gotta
I
have
were
a
in Elliot's
conversation.
shoes, I would have done the same
I
thing.
was more upset at Babs
Right after that?
right
moment?
after that, walking up to the freaking cameraman. I have a message for the bastard that's out here raping lesbians. It was one.
Well, then it became two.
Yes.
When Rosemary, played by Sutton Foster, who since then
Yes.
went on to do Bunheads and Younger and is a Tony Award-winning actress. She was a Tony Award-winning actress then as well.
Started as an angry lesbian.
Yeah.
mom.
On SVU.
You decks are ruining my neighborhood. Finally, someone uses the D word.
Oh, no.
Like for a show about lesbians, you think that'd be a word to be thrown around some more. Yeah. Right? Like there are other words. Why aren't we using those?
Wait, when Mitch punched him though, the first thing she yelled, "Police brutality!"
That was, especially in the current climate
Yeah.
with the videos that we can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
due to phones, it's like that. Stop that. That's like,
Right.
that's like yelling abuse when someone, like, hey,
Right.
like, just
Yeah.
stop
it's,
it.
It's
That
a,
was.
it's a
was a bit
different time.
much.
It's a different time.
Yelling it to the camera,
Yeah.
too. Like, are you catching this?
Yes, yeah.
Police brutality right there.
Anyway, so we find out once Rosemary is attacked, it wasn't Sharon.
Wait, you can't believe she killed her. She's a woman.
Yeah, that also.
That was a little like, no.
So that's.
Isn't the title of this PC?
And isn't there, like, hello, it's a well-known line, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Yeah, but also when someone is murdered, the first person you think of is their significant other. That's the first suspect.
Yeah.
You can't just, like, throw that
Yeah.
out the window.
No, women don't kill people. She's a woman. She couldn't. Like,
Girl, women
what?
kill lots of people.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That's who I'm
Like-
named after.
Okay.
Yeah.
You calm down.
just got darker.
You calm down, Lucretia. So, all right. So once Rosemary's attacked, and we find out that there are other people getting attacked, and Babs is next. She's put into protective custody. There's a PC for you.
ya.
Shut up.
Did you guys feel bad for Sharon, Mitch, when she said straights never understand people like me?
I've never heard people refer to straight people as straights.
Yeah.
Me neither.
That was new for me, too.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of terms. Straights, not one of them.
What did you
that a
take
New
from
York
that
thing?
line, though? Anything?
I mean, I felt really bad for Sharon. I mean, I like that it was acknowledged that she is going through anger management. She is getting better, and like she knows that she has a problem.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that Sharon and Alyssa were making it work for them, which is great. I felt like when we leave her in the interrogation room, and we know it's not her, just the look on her face was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So heartbreaking.
I'm glad they finished. I'm glad it didn't turn out to be her the way that they were painting it, because I was like, y'all are really dragging the community through the mud right here, and so that was
So we put Babs into protective custody. This was such a like Kathy. They were like, Kathy, we're gonna write you jokes, and you just do what you're gonna do. That's what that whole scene was, and it was real obnoxious when she was coming on to Benson and being like, you're clearly a lesbian. Here are all these stereotypes.
I mean, what? Ellen Joan Crawford, Calamity Jane, the attitude, the gun.
You can balance a checkbook. I'll add Susie Orman to that.
Yeah.
No.
So offensive.
Yeah.
Read my perfectly glossed lips. Like, that was the that was the funniest joke in there that wasn't offensive by Kathy Griffin, because it just was on her. Like, it was just like, read my like, why is Kathy Griffin saying that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that made me uncomfortable. Like, read my perfectly glossed lip. I don't want to.
So then we end up with shooting Larry, her boyfriend.
That's why I didn't want her. That's why I'm happy they didn't show the kiss, though. Because in that moment, like, they threw so many stereotypes at Liv. If they had a kiss, even we know Liv is not gay, but even if she had reached in for that kiss, it still would have painted Liv in that light. And everyone that has a dominant personality and, you know what I mean, is a workaholic, is like, I'm just really happy they didn't go there, because they were going there with everything else, and they didn't take it there.
I see what you're saying.
I'm happy that they didn't
I agree
take
with that.
And I like that she went to Stabler and was like, do I give off like a lesbian?
Well, so the thing is, but like, there is so much fanfic out there about Alex Cabot and Liv. Like, that's a thing. That's a huge ship on the internet.
And when Babs saw Alex, too,
Yeah,
she
that
was
was
like,
great.
Because Stephanie March is beautiful.
You can
Oh, yeah. So anyway, meet her boyfriend Larry, who's like, really, that's
That guy.
that's the guy who wins her over. And then
Shot in the ass.
yeah, then it turns out it's Ronnie the copy guy, and Benson pretends that she's gay, which is super kind of offensive. Stabler won't shut up with the PC jokes, and Babs comes out as bi, which is the worst possible thing she could do to her community.
Her sisters.
How dare she do that to her sisters? You betrayed us.
It's like chasing Amy all over again.
But honestly, think about it. You created that monster, girl. Like, you were the one with hair sprayed high, running around like, we're lesbians, my sisters. I don't want to be considered with the bisexuals, the gays, and all the I's, the Q's, and all that. We are lesbians. You are creating this monster, and falsely, because you know what you're doing behind the scenes.
Right.
So, in that sense, because I did think, okay, this is real dramatic, but then also it was just kind of like, you know, you did create the whole laying it.
Well, yeah, no, there's a bug in here, guys.
You're just checking your breasts out?
Checking out my boobs. No, it's her fault that it was so hard to come out. It's because she made, as you were saying, she made this a big deal. And then she's like, well, we're now going to open Lesbi Strong up to everybody. Because of, like, just because it helps you.
Only for her.
Yeah. Because I came out as bi, it makes it okay.
Yep.
And then, of course, he leaves her. And then she kisses Stabler in the most uncomfortable, awful way, which was great.
I love that.
He deserved it.
Yep.
I just can't believe she kissed him after that ass insult. And I just want to do a PSA. Christopher Maloney has one of the best asses on television. She did not know what she was talking about. Rachel Harris had a whole Twitter campaign about it. Yeah.
I would like more than anything that the fans will tweet that link of her saying that. Yep, share that with Chris. All right. Before we move on, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who is live in the chat. Lucretia is doing her best to keep an eye on you. thank you for joining us. Thank you to everyone who goes to iTunes. If you like us, we hope you subscribe that way you don't miss a single episode. Also, hit the button if you like us. That's 5 stars. If you don't like us, that is 4 stars. The other stars, they don't work, so don't worry about it. And bang on your keyboard, leave us some comments. We will read it live on the air when Lauren gets back and knows how to do that, because we're not capable.
I have an Android.
And yeah, I can't do it. I have other stuff to do. I have to run the show. That's Lauren's job. So when Lauren gets back, we will read live iTunes reviews out on the air. Yep.
In
Promise?
whatever we think your voices sound like.
Yeah, Lauren does.
that's
I love the way Lauren does it. All right. Okay, so let's move on. We have some real SVU news to share.
do.
So let's hit the news and gossip button. There it is. Before we get to your stories, I have a story. So a Fox anchor for Fox News, Gretchen Carlson, I don't know if anyone else has seen this story. It's been filling up my feed, and I went, I don't watch Fox News. I don't know who that is. But she disappeared last month. She disappeared from her shift. She's no longer on Fox News, and she is claiming that her boss has sabotaged her career and sexually assaulted her. And several women have come out saying that is all that has happened to them as well. So she was a co-host on Fox and Friends from 2005 to 2013. Her suit alleges that her boss retaliated against her, fired her after she complained about condescending on-air behavior by a co-host, and that a bunch of other stuff has happened. But so there's a lot of news going on with that, and you can check that out. I think if you just Google Gretchen Carlson, it should be some of the first stuff that comes up right now, which are not really good for her career. But good for her for speaking up and for being proud enough to say, I'm not going to stand for this, and letting other people come forward as well. You have some news, Michelle.
I do. I have 2 stories to share. In Chicago, the third Uber driver, there is a third Uber driver that is being charged with sexually assaulting an intoxicated passenger. So this is the 3rd time it's happened in Chicago, and it's passengers that are highly intoxicated trying to get a safe ride after a night of drinking. He is being charged. It's just not fun.
That's why I don't take Uber or Lyft.
There was a new app that came out. I think it was called Chariot. And it was a women's Uber. It is driven by women and will only pick up women passengers.
Is it called Pink something out of New York, right?
I don't remember. Yeah. Pink Chariot, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. And the reason this came about was they showed like somebody had taken or hacked into Uber and like looked up the reports of how many times the word rape had been reported, or sexual assault, or sexual abuse. And so somebody decided to make this thing, and that the way it works is you book the car and then you get a safe word, more safe word use. And the car comes and you have to give them the safe word, and then you can get in, they'll take you home. I believe it's open to all women, including trans women, and I think it may be also opening up to gay men, but I'm not sure. I don't know more about that, so Google, I think women's Uber is what you should Google.
I think that's probably a good
And you have another story.
I do. This one just happened this afternoon. You know the new game that's all the rage, Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Sure do.
Do you, Jesse?
Sure do. I actually caught a Venonat while we were in here before the show aired.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Go on.
I have a Windows phone, so I will never know the joy that is Pokemon Go.
Lucky you.
Or the pain, depending on how you feel about it. But there was a 24-year-old man in Athens, Georgia, who went to a parking lot. It was a Poke Stop or something.
Sure.
It was
Or
something
might have been
in
a
the game.
gym.
It was something in the game. And a man in his late 20s or early 30s approached him and groped his inner thigh and asked if he liked men, and just freaked him out. And the 24-year-old didn't run away or call anyone because he didn't know if the guy had a weapon.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the panic moment. So the police there are investigating that. So be careful and make good choices when you're playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening with Pokemon Go right now where there are a lot of people finding businesses out of it. People who are discovering there's now like Poke Uber, which is you can hire an Uber driver to drive you around so you don't have to walk. Or there's this woman who you can pay to go and catch Pokemon for you. So like their business is coming out of it, but there were the people that lured hostages into a bank robbery. I believe. There's like, be careful, people.
Yeah, no, because it's really, I think what is more addicting to it is that you see how it interacts with the community. I mean, keep it to my like 3 blocks, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not out here, you know, no, girl, because I don't do Uber and Lyft because people are scary. You can't trust the world. The world does not think sanely all the time. And so with something like this, you go outside and I see people just lined up at my park. And I
just got chills thinking about it.
Here's the craziest part though. Cool during the day. But at night, the thing is, at night you can get different types of Pokemon. So I was walking my dog. It was around like 8:30. And the park was filled with like older people. And they're all on their phones. And I'm like, okay, in my area, cool. But like elsewhere, you don't know. Anybody could, they have you going into buildings like,
Yeah, the chat roll's heating up about this too. Steven Zawin says, Uber is a boober. I really liked that comment. And Matt says, I wonder what you would tell the police after such an incident. I was chasing a Pokemon when this guy robbed me.
And he grabbed my balls.
Yeah.
I mean,
He grabbed all my balls.
That's not a joke.
That was, I mean, this isn't about sexual assault cases, but I saw the case today. You can yell at me if I go on a tangent. Someone ran into a tree and totaled their car because they were catching a difficult Pokemon.
We're done Pokemon. Guys,
We're
don't
done.
Pokemon Drive. Here's what I'll say.
Before you finish talking about that, who would hire somebody to go catch Pokemon for you?
People who
I would
are
have to
I
get
thought
my
the fun
phone.
part is to go do it yourself.
No, so
No, that's not the
way,
fun part,
Okay, so the
actually,
way
yeah.
that the way that her service worked, for those who care, it was that you would pay her when you were at school or at work or with your kids, or you couldn't do it. She logs.
When you're doing normal life stuff.
Yes,
basically.
when
When you're living.
Yeah.
you would go on your phone. She would, sorry, not take your phone. She'd log into your account.
Because I'm like, that's weird.
No, she
Yeah.
wouldn't take your phone. All right. Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone the schedule of the summer SVU coverage. That's right. We are covering old episodes the rest of the summer. Well, really another month. Next week, there is no episode. That's right. We will not be here next week. Correct.
Plays to my benefit.
Yeah. But July 28th, we will be covering season 12, episode 5, Wet. On August 4th, we will take it all the way back to season 5, episode 15, Families. And on August 11th, season 5 finale, episode 25, Head. August 18th, season 10, episode 6, Babes. And August 25th, it's not my favorite, it's just a special episode.
Love it.
We'll be talking season 2. Guys, season 2, episode 9, Pixies. I love that you do that. I love it.
But wait, who was it that we went back to? She's going to play in Pixies, but then she's also a different character. We talked about this. That's why I remember this specific
There are a bunch of
episode.
people in that episode. There are a bunch of
Oh,
people.
yeah. I mean, Diane Neal was a rapist before she was our
Oh,
ADA.
yeah, she raped a man with her friends. Yeah, there was also recently season 2 episodes were airing on USA Network. That's right, I was watching.
That's
the
why you
entire
were gone for so long. I was like, why is Yale? Where's Yale been?
It was
That's
on-
why I was late to our party.
Masturbating to season 2 at SVU.
I do no such thing. Anyway, so I was watching season 2 and realized that almost every episode had multiple people that were in more than one episode. They were in 2 or 3 or 4 episodes.
As different characters?
As different characters. So there's a woman in season 2 that then goes on to be one of the medical examiners that we've seen a bunch. And there was a professor in season 2 that then went on to be a rapist from the Czech Republic or something. There's like really great.
There's a lot of repetition.
Yeah. Season 2, because I think they were like, well, let's use these great people. I don't know if we'll keep going. And then the show kept going.
Yep.
And just a reminder, season 18 premieres September 21st. So between August 25th and September 21st, we're going to take a break. All right. Before, that's it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Lucretia and Michelle.
Thanks for having us.
Yay. And you guys will join us for more episodes this summer.
Yes, we will.
But until then, Lucretia, where can people find you?
As always, you guys can find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
That's good to know. Michelle.
You can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen, and I looked up the app, and it's called Save Her. So Safe Her.
Nice.
It's a rideshare by women for women.
Great. Jesse.
Everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
Before I tell you who I am, let me remind you that Isabel Dew, our lovely co-host, is in a contest to be Miss Jet Set 2016. If you haven't gone and voted today, it's free. All you have to do is log in with Facebook, which is a button that says log in with Facebook, and then you hit vote. That's it. Do it today, please.
Oh, and also make sure you guys check out Netflix original series Stranger Things, because AfterBuzz teamed up with them and we're doing the first official after show for them. YouTube.com/Netflix.
Yes. And I'm everywhere at YelTeagle, YaelTygiel, online at yell.tv, yael.tv. And I have a podcast. It's free. It's called Intimate Interrogation. Sometimes it is filthy. Sometimes it's not. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for more SVU.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.